Thank you for choosing the Nitrofit Limber Pro Stretch machine. Make sure to take everything out of the box and lay it all out nearby. Please note that many of the screws that you will need for the assembly are pre-inserted into their respective parts. You don't need to unscrew them now. You can just wait until you need to use the parts, and then unscrew them then. Simply follow this video step by step with me, and we'll have you enjoying your new stretch machine shortly. If you have a ratchet wrench with a 1/2-inch socket available, it'll make the process way easier, but the tools that we provided are enough to get the job done. So, let's get started. Place the two long tubes with black caps next to each other. The longer of the two is your rear tube with feet. Move the other aside for now. Identify the long metal piece with the 7 holes along the side. We will use this piece, the rear tube, now. Unscrew the nuts on the rear tube and remove the flat washer and spring washer. Attach the rear tube to the main tube by sliding the bolts through the holes. Then, secure it by placing the hardware back in the following order. First, slide the flat washer onto the bolts. Then, the spring clip onto the bolt. Lastly, put the nut back on and then fasten. Remember, the order of the hardware is the exact same throughout this entire assembly process that requires a bolt or a nut. Flat washer, spring clip, then nut. Repeat the same steps for the other bolt. Place the finished part of step 1 in a way where the feet face away from you. Make sure that you locate the side with the 7 holes in it. Next, grab the pedal kit that has the cushion base kit already attached for you. Make sure the pedals are in the back and the cushion base is folded forward, like in this video. The locking pull pin should be on the same side as the 7 holes. Make sure the pull pin is unscrewed and give it a pull to get it out of the way while you start sliding the pedal kit onto the bar. Slide the pedal kit onto the main tube until the pull pin goes into a hole. Rocking the main tube back so that it points straight up can also help make sliding the pedal kit onto the main tube easier. Slide the pedal kit onto the main tube until the pull pin comes into a hole. Take the shorter tube with the black caps you put away previously. Identify the long metal piece with a curve. We're going to use this piece right now. You'll want the side with the 3 holes closest to you, and then you want to take the shorter tube with the black caps you put away previously and attach the front tube with the integrated wheels and the front support together. You'll want to unscrew the bolts and the washers like you did on the rear tube assembly in step 1. Once that's done, attach the front tube to the front support tube by sliding the bolts through the holes. Then secure them by placing the hardware back in the following order: flat washer, spring clip, nut, then tighten. Repeat the same for the other bolts. Grab the handlebar kit with exercise display placard and gently unscrew the bolts and washers, then set aside. An easy way to attach the front support to the placard is to have the placard face down. The forward bend in the front support should go in the direction of the narrow side of the placard plate. Then, place the front support onto the handlebar kit so that you can see the holes line up. Manually tighten the screws. The order for the hardware is the exact same as last time, except this time we have a bolt. So, to set this up, take your bolt and put it head down, like shown on the graphic on the left of the video. Afterwards, take the split washer and slide it on top of the bolt. Then, the flat washer, and finally, put it in the hole and screw it in by hand. Do the same for the other side. Tighten down with the Allen key afterwards. Remove the 8 screws and washers from the connection tube and set aside. A cordless electric drill could be used if you have it. If the nuts are a little bit tight, you could use the Allen key you used in previous steps to loosen them up. So, take some time to loosen everything. Locate the support foot. This helps to reinforce a high stress point on the machine and extends user weight to 300 pounds. We recommend everyone, regardless of weight, install this. Slide the connection tube into the finished assembly from previous steps. You'll want to slide it all the way into the main tube until the 4 holes on part of the front support align with the 4 holes in the main tube. These tubes are under the machine currently. Once you turn it over, you'll be able to see them. Turn the assembly over so that you can have access to the holes. Then, grab the support foot and position it over the 8 holes on the connected part of the main tube and connection tube. You want the angle of the support foot to go towards the rear feet. Then, set up the bolts with the hardware just like you did in the last step, and put the bolts into the holes to lock the plate in place. I would recommend to put your first 4 bolts in this order. Before tightening, make sure all 4 bolts are in. After they're in, tighten. Inserting the first 4 bolts like this will ensure all future bolts are aligned. Once the machine is fully assembled, it's normal for this part not to be touching the ground. It's meant as a support for if the machine flexes under load. Flip the machine back over so the support foot is on the ground. Grab the front tube with the attached handlebar attachment you just screwed in. Put it against the machine like shown, making sure the bend goes towards the rest of the machine. Locate the bag of hardware. Pull out 4 of the long screws, 4 flat washers, 4 spring washers, and 4 nuts. Take your first screw and go through the hole. You might have to lift the main part of the machine up a little bit to get the screw to line up and go through. Then just repeat for the 3 other screws. It may take some finesse or force to get it all the way through the holes. If you run into any problems, the holes are simply not aligned. While pressing the screw in, try moving the front tube around until it goes in. Up, front, side to side, angled up, angled down, etc. Just move it around, and the moment the holes align, the screw will go in because you've been pushing the screw in the entire time. Rotating the bolt by hand could help too. Just move the front support around, move the bolt around, screw it in while pushing it in, and it'll go in. Once all 4 bolts are inserted, put the flat washer, spring washer, and nuts on. Grab your Allen key and grab this. A ratchet would be useful too if you have one. To tighten, you would take this key and hold it right there. Then you'll grab your Allen key and put it on the same bolt that you're holding from the other side and then tighten down. This is called counter holding. You'll do this for all 4 bolts. It's really a lot easier with this guy here though, if you have one. Go ahead and tighten all 4 bolts. Find your 2 small screws in the hardware bag. Place the plastic clamshell over the connected part of the front support and connection tube like shown in the video. It will help if you orient yourself as if you're looking at your own machine like you're watching this video. This way, you'll be able to align the plastic clamshell without any troubles. You simply have to copy how I put it on. Once the 2 parts fit together over the front of the machine, place a small screw onto the screwdriver side of the Allen key that was provided and insert into the hole on the other side of the clamshell. You may have to wiggle the screw around in the hole a little while you turn it until you feel it grip into the other side of the plastic clamshell. Tighten both bolts. Find the 5th long bolt. Don't worry about the washer. It is no longer required for this step because the screw head is wide enough to hold this part together without it. Slide the screw into the hole on the front of the machine and use the Allen key to tighten. This adds extra support to the front connection. Just a quick note that assembly of the seat can go wrong if you don't follow the instructions correctly. The reason for this is that we are attaching a few pieces together with bolts. When parts are not fully tightened, they rattle and move around. This is what we want as we attach everything in this step because it will help us align all the parts together. The issue only comes when one set of bolts are tightened before all are inserted. This will take away the movement between parts we need to make sure everything goes where it needs to go, so just keep the bolts loose for now. I'll let you know once we've put all 6 bolts in and you could start tightening everything. For now though, just follow the build with me and don't fully tighten anything. So first locate the cushion supporter. It will have the MedVibe sticker and a rubber strip on it. Unscrew the bolts and washers completely and set aside. Then, lean the cushion back. Slide the screws with spring clip and flat washer through the holes and into the cushion supporter. You want to make sure that the stickers on the cushion supporter that you are attaching face the back of the machine. Make sure to only tighten these bolts down about 75% or you will not be able to complete the rest of the assembly. You will come back and tighten them fully in a later step. Just reiterating the last step, don't fully tighten the bolts every time you put the bolts in. Very important. First, locate the cushion bracket. Then unscrew the longer pre-inserted bolts and washers at the bottom. If they're hard to unscrew, just grab your Allen key and give them a twist. They should come out easily after that. Washer and split washer are already there for you, so be mindful they don't fall off once you take the screw out. Then, remove the shorter pre-inserted bolts and washers at the top and then set aside. If they're hard to unscrew, just grab your Allen key and give them a twist. They should come out easily after that. Also keep in mind that washer and split washer are already there for you, so be mindful they don't fall off once you take the bolt out. Slide the top of the cushion bracket into the top of the cushion support that you attached in the last step. Then, tilt the whole assembly back and insert the bolts with spring washer and flat washer through the cushion base kit into the bottom of the cushion bracket. Again, don't fully tighten these bolts quite yet. One last step and we're done attaching the cushion support assembly. Tilt the whole assembly forward, lightly insert the small fat bolts that you previously removed with spring washer and flat washer. Now go around and fully tighten all the 6 bolts that you inserted in the last 2 steps. The order doesn't matter. Here are the last 2 bolts to screw in. Find the 8 matching screws that were in your hardware bag. Grab the knee pad, which has a portion cut out of it. Slide the knee pad all the way back so that the back of the cutout is snugly pressed against the cushion bracket. Tighten all 4 screws to attach the knee pad. and then use the screwdriver end of your Allen wrench or your screwdriver to fully tighten. Tilt the seat back forward. Place the back cushion onto the seat back, making sure the narrower end of the seat cushion is angling down towards the knee cushion. The logo should appear right side up. If the logo is upside down, then you installed the seat cushion wrong, and it should simply be rotated 180 degrees. Attach the back cushion with the last 4 small screws. Then, use the screwdriver end of your Allen wrench or your screwdriver to fully tighten. We are now going to be attaching the calf stretch board to the machine. At the front of the machine, there are 3 holes. You will be able to modify the angle of the calf stretch board using these holes. For now though, put the long black pin with the ball on it through the calf stretch board and through the very top hole. Push it all the way through. Make sure it goes through the eyelet on the other side of the calf stretch board too. Locate the light green nylon straps. Pull it tight from end to end and place behind the placard. Pull the ends forward and let them rest on the crossbar of the handlebar assembly. When you have completed it, you should be able to put your wrists in them. You will also find a small media shelf in your box. It slides down onto the placard and allows you to view a phone or tablet while you stretch. To attach it, simply place it about halfway up the placard and slide down until it sits in place. Congratulations! Enjoy your new stretch machine. Should you need any further assistance with assembly, please call us at 1-888-861-0486.